Welcome back to another episode of Organized Chaos Season 2, Permission Granted. On this episode of Manifesting Monday, I have a fun springtime story for you. This episode is all about how kids are incredible manifestors. And let's be honest, they take after their parents. So, if we do our part and lead by example, they will be manifesting in no time. But even if we don't, there's just something about kids. Their superpower is believing in the impossible almost all the time. At least that's how it feels with my kids. So, to paint the picture, it's March 2019, and we had planned a trip to go to Legoland in California to meet my dad and bonus mom for a vacation for spring break. It was our first time taking all 3 kids to Legoland. The youngest had just turned 6 the month before, and the boys were 8 and 10. Now, my middle son has been obsessed with dogs since the day he was born. Every stuffed animal he owns is a dog, no exaggeration, and that will all make sense very shortly. We also, at the time, had 2 cats and no room, or in me, no desire to add a dog to our lives. For me, 3 children was a lot for me to handle. Back to spring break in Legoland. Just getting to go to Legoland felt like a huge blessing. The whole trip came together in a way that felt like magic. It was gifted to us, and it was so special to spend time with family, to be on vacation, and have that extra support with the kids. Okay, so we're at Legoland, and you know those carnival-style games? There was one where Ryan really wanted to win one of those giant stuffed puppy dogs, and I wanted to win it for him so badly, but I do not have any basketball skills, so there's that. The game was shoot the basketball and make it into the basket. Easy, right? Nope. My dad and my husband were both trying so hard to win it, and honestly, I'm pretty sure those games are rigged. But at the same time, we did see people walking around with prizes, so you know it is possible. I even got to the point where I asked the guy running the game, "Can I just buy one of those stuffed animals?" And he said no. Then I asked if there was anywhere else in the park that sold them. I was so determined, and again he said no. So that was disappointing. My dad tried one more time, and it literally almost went in, touched the rim, and then at the last second it bounced out, and we were all like, "Oh!" And at that point, we decided that each kid would get some money and go to the souvenir shop and pick out their own stuffed animal instead. After that, we still had time to go on more rides. My oldest wanted to go on a certain ride, so I went with him, and the younger 2 didn't want to go, so they went with the grown-ups to go get a snack. So Michael and I head to another part of the park, and we go over to this other ride. So we end up waiting in this line for about 30 minutes, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, are we ever going to make it on this ride? And then, of course, the announcement comes on, and it says, this ride is now shutting down due to technical issues. So that's annoying. So then we walk out, and you know when you walk out of the exit, it leads you to stroller parking where people have parked their stroller. And I walk out, and I kid you not, there is a double stroller parked, and it has 6 of the giant husky stuffed animal dogs hooked onto the handles of the stroller. And I just stop and I start staring at the stroller, and I'm thinking, okay, whose stroller is this? There's no one around. I really want to take a dog. Obviously, I'm not going to because that would be stealing, and I obviously can't do that. So I'm just waiting for people to slowly come out of this ride from waiting in line. And I finally see this guy come out, and his wife and his kids. And I'm like, I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to go talk to them. And so I walk up to him and I say, hey, how did you win all these dogs? You have to tell me. And of course he says, I played the basketball game and I made the basket a few times and I won the dog. And so I told him, I was like, we literally have been trying to win a dog from that game for 30 minutes and we cannot make a basket. Can you please come with us? I'll pay you to play the game. Could you please just make one basket for us? We have to win a dog. And he just like smiles, and he's like this younger dad, and he's just like, oh, you can just totally have a dog. I'm like, are you serious right now? He's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, I honestly don't even know how we're going to bring all these dogs back on the airplane because they're so massive. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Like, you just made my day. He's like, yeah, no problem. Have a great day. So I pick a dog for my son, and like I grab it, and we like run all the way back to the other part of the park where my son was and my husband and everyone. And so I come running up, and I'm holding this giant dog, and they're all looking at me, and they're like, how did you get that dog? And I hand it to Ryan, and he has like the biggest smile on his face. And I'm like, you're not going to believe what happened. I tell them everything. We were waiting for the ride, and then the ride shut down, and then we walked out, and then I saw this double stroller, and it had all these puppy dogs on it. And then I waited for the guy, and I asked him if he would come play the game, and he said that that's okay, and he just like gave us a dog after I told him the story that like we were trying to win a dog for Ryan. And all of this to say, I truly believe the universe and God desires to give us the desires of our hearts, even sometimes as silly and specific as a giant stuffed puppy dog. I love how big and open children's hearts are. I love how deeply they dream and how fully they believe. And what really stood out to me was this. Even though we tried so hard to win that game and didn't get it, Ryan just shrugged it off. He was like, okay, and moved on. No tears, no trauma, just on to the next thing. And I really think that's the energy we need to have when it comes to manifesting. When something doesn't work out, when we don't get the client or things don't go the way we planned, we get to say, all right, next. Because truly, it's that detachment from the outcome that allows things to come through even faster, and often in a way that's better than we could have planned. And sometimes it gives us a way better story to tell later. If you take anything from this story, let it be this. You don't have to force things to happen. You don't have to chase or grip so tightly to the outcome. The magic is in the letting go. Here are some key takeaways. Kids naturally trust that things will work out. They don't overthink the how, they just believe it's possible. Detachment is the real magic. The moment Ryan let it go and moved on, that's when it came. What's meant for you can arrive in unexpected ways. We did not win the game, but he still got the exact prize even easier. Not getting it your way doesn't mean it's not coming. Sometimes the no is just redirecting you to a better outcome. Your energy matters more than effort. You tried hard, but the shift happened when the energy softened. The universe and God responds to desire and openness. Even the smallest, most playful desires are heard. Let it be light. Manifestation doesn't have to feel heavy or serious. It can feel fun. Now, here are some fun mantras. What's meant for me finds me easily and effortlessly. I release control and trust the outcome. It gets to come to me in unexpected, magical ways. I don't chase, I attract. Even when it doesn't work out, it's still working for me. I trust that what I desire is already on its way. I can want something deeply and still hold it lightly. The more I let go, the faster it flows. My energy creates my reality, not my force. I am always being guided to something better. If you take anything from this story, let it be this. You don't have to force things to happen. You don't have to chase or grip so tightly to the outcome. The magic is in the letting go. Just like Ryan, he wanted the dog. He was excited about it. But when it didn't happen right away, he didn't spiral. He didn't make it mean anything. He just said, okay, and moved on. And that's when it came. So maybe the invitation here is to hold your desires the same way. You're allowed to want what you want deeply, but you don't have to cling to it, because what's meant for you will find you. sometimes in ways that are even better than you planned. So this week, try this. Release the timeline, release the how, and trust that it gets to come to you with ease. And if you need a little reminder, here are a few mantras you can carry with you. What's meant for me finds me easily and effortlessly. I release control and trust the outcome. It gets to come to me in unexpected and magical ways. I don't chase, I allow. Even when it doesn't work out, it's still working for me. Take a deep breath and let it be light. And I'll see you on the next episode of Organized Chaos. Permission granted. And if you like this episode, please share it with a friend or post it on your socials. Feel free to scroll down all the way to the bottom and leave a 5-star review and leave some kind words if you haven't already. And there's many ways to connect with me if you open up the show notes. There's affiliate links in there. I'm in the expansion room with Jen Liss. It's amazing, supportive online community that I love. It's $27 a month. I'm also in Kathy Heller's monthly program. That's $97 a month. You can check out the link in there. And what other things am I in that I love? I don't know. I just love everything. And then the other thing is I give energy readings. They're really amazing and they help you gain clarity and insight. So if you would like an energy reading, you can reach out to me. Yeah. So you should do that and I will talk to you later. Love you. Bye.